everybody. It's a beautiful day. Finally, we got some good weather. It's supposed to be nice today and tomorrow. Hopefully it holds up. Let's keep our fingers crossed. Listen, today I want to do another video discussing some common questions I often get with nutrition, with people on nutrition plans. Now, when someone engages in a designed strategic plan from someone like myself or another, there are great coaches out there who know what they're doing, especially in this particular area. But if I've put someone on a particular plan and I've designed it in such a manner that they're eating a particular amount of calories, in that particular range of calories, as I've said before, there are particular amounts of macronutrients which all add up to that particular number. Now, to lose body fat, I never say lose weight, because anyone can freaking lose weight. It's just body fat, a decrease, a reduction in your body fat percentage is what I am talking about. You must be in a slight or sometimes modest caloric deficit, okay? So, typically starting out, like for instance, I had an individual recently. I had him on a plan. This was his third plan. With the first one, we dropped a considerable amount of weight. The second one, we slowly ramped his muscle mass up to a particular point, helping him increase lean mass. And this one, now we're working our way down for the summer. Now, he is in a caloric deficit of around 700 calories or so. I don't usually like to go that low. I usually only like to go around 300 to 500 below maintenance. But this time I decided to go a little bit more extreme to get him down there. Now, he's down, of course. I've got him down about 10 and 12 pounds or so, and everything's great. But today he asked, because the last week or so, there was a bump up of weight on the scale, which is very normal, because as you get leaner and leaner, if you're doing it right, your metabolic rate is going to increase. Your lean muscle mass is higher, and your metabolic rate's going to increase. Your thyroid is going to run faster. Other hormones are going to run better, and you're burning fuel, body fat, more efficiently. Now, the problem with that is if you're in a caloric deficit and you've dropped down to a particular point, now you need to actually, because he asked me, should I decrease my calories a little bit more? And my response was no. We need to do the opposite, in fact, which is the opposite of what most people do. Most people lose a bunch of weight starving themselves most of the time, and then they bump up exercise, their caloric expenditure, and they eat less, which is stressing the body out a lot. It's raising stress hormone, cortisol. That's going to cause water retention. That's going to cause a whole lot of other problems. So believe it or not, you need to increase calories at some point, the leaner you get. Now, I wouldn't suggest you do that after just losing 10 pounds, because initially when you get going on a plan, you initially lose anywhere from 5 to 7, sometimes 10 pounds in the first week. The first month rather. And then most of it's from water retention, from water loss. And of course, every time you lose some body fat, you're going to lose a little bit of muscle. Now, that's completely different if you're on a GLP-1 agonist medication like Ozempic or similar type products. Those work completely differently. The majority of people on those particular medications are in a whole different situation. I'm talking about a regular person who's trying to drop weight, drop body fat, and continue to lose body fat. But you're not going to do that if you stay the same at some point of calories, or even worse, lower calories. You actually have to bump up calories. Now, that can be a manipulation of a little bit more protein and fats, or depending upon how physically active you are, that could be an increase of starchy carbs in addition to a little bit of extra protein and maybe a little bit extra fat. You want to bump things up maybe around 300 calories or so more than you were eating to compensate with the metabolic changes that's going on. So most people do the opposite. They eat less and less, and they exercise more and more, especially that old adage, you can't out-train a bad diet. In addition to them eating less, they're also binging a lot of the times during the week, which is definitely terrible, and a lot on the weekends, which you shouldn't be doing anyway, okay? So if all is going right and correct, and you are following the plan designed to the letter, with maybe a scheduled cheat meal, not day, on the weekends, and your body fat percentage has decreased, your weight is down, but now you're hitting a sticking point a lot on the scale, because you've lost, I have some people who recently have lost 30, 40, 50, I have one guy 60 pounds. You actually have to make adjustments, believe it or not, and increase things. So it's tricky, and you got to keep a good eye on things, but it's necessary. So again, depending upon who you're talking to is in regards to someone helping you or guiding you with your plan, whether that's myself or someone else out there, they will make those adjustments as your body composition decreases. Okay? Changes have to be made. You can't just follow whatever and not make any changes, and you got to stick to things 110%. No deviation. Whenever I write up a plan, I write right at the top of the page, no deviations, no changes, no exceptions. All right, so that's that. Another common question I get. I'll be doing more and more of these. And get out there and enjoy the day. It's beautiful out. Summer's here, I think. I'll talk to you all later. Get going to the gym.